Recruiter phone interviews. What the heck do they really want to hear? Phone interviewing with a recruiter is typically the first step in any recruitment process. And if you're not careful, it can be your last step too. But recruiters are all sleazy. They're on power trips. They don't understand the roles that they're filling. They don't care about your time, right? Ever hear anything that sounds like this before? Well, lucky for you, they don't call me the Ramblin' Recruiter for nothing. Go grab a coffee, maybe a snack to sit your butt down in that chair because you're going to want to hear all of this. There's something truly magical about this city, but I'll be damned if I know what it is. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Ramblin' Recruiter, the channel that's dedicated to helping you find the job of your dreams and make the most of your career. My name's Darren DeLuca, and I've been a recruiter now for nearly 2 decades. In that time, I've learned a thing or two about hiring and getting hired. Now I'm here to share what I know with you. If that sounds good, subscribe and click the bell to enable notifications so you never miss anything again. Links to everything we'll be talking about today are down below in the description. There's some links to merch and tech down there as well. Check those out when you get a chance. If you're interested in merch, I'll put a 10% off promo code on screen towards the end of the video, so make sure you watch till the end. And this is a totally viewer-supported channel. This is your channel. So if you'd like to make a contribution, you can do so via PayPal or Patreon. Links are down below in the description. My Patreon supporters get one-on-one job coaching directly from me. Before we get into this, I have a rhetorical question for you. Today I was watching one of the big names on YouTube in the job search and career expert space, and I happened to notice that this individual has a 3-letter professional designation after their name. Let me ask you this. Being certified to sign off on financial statements, does that make you a career expert? Whose job search advice is likely to be more practical and realistic? A certified public accountant or somebody who's been a recruiter both in-house and for recruitment agencies for nearly 20 years? I'll let you decide the answer to that question, but I just want to go on record that you snake oil salesmen and saleswomen out there, you know who you are. If you're having trouble getting past the initial phone interviews, it could be that you need some coaching on your phone interview skills or your voice, so consider becoming a Patreon supporter of this channel. I will definitely coach you through it. All right, so I'm going to share 4 tips with you today that are going to elevate your phone interview game tremendously. Remember, phone interviews are a lot like first dates. Some of them go nowhere. Some of them go really well, but you still don't hear back anyway. And some of them lead to an amazing, long journey of discovery and life together. Special nod to you, my wife Corey, of 14 years now. Just last week we hit 14 years. Who'd have ever thought you could have put up with me for 14 years? My hat's off to you. Before you jump all over that sleazy recruiter who didn't care enough about you to put you through to the next round of face-to-face interviews, make sure that you're doing these 4 things really well. Tip number 1, bring the 3 E's to the call: energy, enthusiasm, and engagement. Recruiters will typically interview 7 to 10 candidates on the phone for any given position. Now, these 7 to 10 candidates are going to have similar qualifications, so what makes one stand out above the others? Energy, enthusiasm, engagement. You've got to be memorable on the phone. You've got to sound like you are excited and happy to be there. You should be excited and happy to be there. If you're looking for a job and you're getting phone interviews, you're going in the right direction. One word of caution though, there's a fine line between energy, enthusiasm, and engagement and being a cheerleader. You don't want to come across as a cheerleader. You don't want to come across as being fake enthusiastic or overly enthusiastic or desperate. So make sure you walk the line. You don't cross over it because nobody wants to hire a cheerleader. Tip number 2, keep your answers focused, concise, and to the point. Confidence on phone interviews comes from your ability to listen to the question that's being asked and respond to it without rambling on and on and on. I can't tell you how many phone interviews I've done where the instant the candidate gets on the call, he or she launches into a 5-minute diatribe about everything they've ever done in their entire career when the question was, how are you today? Or they launch into a 3 to 5 minute speech about how they're the perfect candidate for the role when all I asked was, is this still a good time for us to talk? You've got to listen to the question that's being asked, and you've got to respond to that question in a clear, concise manner. Let me put it to you this way. If you come to the realization that you've been talking for 60 seconds straight or more, you're talking way too much. Take a breath, let the other person get a word in edgewise, see where the actual question is going. I remember this one particular occasion. I was doing a phone interview with a candidate who talked for at least 7 minutes straight without taking a break. It got so boring that I was actually pinching myself to keep myself from dozing off. When you're rambling on and on and on, I have to wonder, what is your level of self-awareness? If you don't have the self-awareness to take a pause and let me ask a question or respond to what you've said, I have to wonder how you'd behave in a meeting. Tip number 3, understand your non-monetary motivations for why you would consider a new job and be able to clearly articulate those. The recruiter is invariably going to ask you, why do you want to leave your current job? And because you've agreed to take the phone call with them, there has to be some reason why you want to. So be able to articulate that without reverting back to, it's all about money. There's nothing wrong with wanting a raise. Everybody wants more money, recruiters included. Everybody wants more money. But candidates that are only focused on getting a financial increase become impossible for us as recruiters to close when it comes to offer time, because you'll constantly be looking for the next big thing, the bigger, better deal. Nobody wants to hire a candidate who's going to last 6 months or less because they're constantly looking for a raise, and nobody wants to extend an offer to a candidate that we're not 100% certain we can get them to accept it. So focus on the non-monetary reasons. I get answers to this question all the time that range across the spectrum, but some of the most common include, I'm underpaid here. Newsflash, and tough to swallow reality pill here. You are not underpaid. The reason you are not underpaid is because you were extended an offer to work for a certain level of compensation and you accepted that offer. Therefore, you are paid exactly commensurate with what you value your contribution to be. I know that's harsh, and you may very well be paid below market rate. If that's the case, you want to consider watching my video playlist on how to get a raise. I'll link to it up here. But you determine your own value by accepting or declining work that's offered to you. So you're paid exactly correctly. Another one I get all the time is, I'm not being challenged here. Well, here's another hard, cold dose of reality. Career growth and development is each one of our individual responsibilities. You get hired to do a job. You do that job extremely well, you're just going to get more and more piled on you. If you want to do new things and experience new things and learn new skills, chances are you're going to have to seek some aspect of that yourself. Talk to your boss, talk to other leaders in your organization, find out what projects they have available, what you can work on, what you can contribute to. But you're going to have to look for opportunities to be challenged on your own. If that's your only motivation for looking for a new job, I have to wonder if you're going to be bored here in 6 months too. This one is my personal favorite, and I get asked this pretty frequently. Well, you called me, so tell me why I should take the job. Look, I will tell you the good, I will tell you the bad, I'll even tell you the ugly, and I will encourage you to see the positives of the opportunity that we have to offer. But if you're waiting for me to sell you on why you should come work for us, you're probably going to be waiting for a long, long time. Again, you've agreed to this call, so you have to have some motivations why you'd want to look outside your current company. Let me know what those are. Tip number 4, have your notes and resources out, accessible, and available to you during the phone interview. Phone interviewing is a lot like doing an open book test in school. You get to have your notes right there in front of you on the desk. You can have a copy of your resume, a copy of the job description, the recruiter's LinkedIn profile, and the company's website open in front of you and accessible. This way, if you need to look something up real quick, you can. If the recruiter makes a specific reference to something on your resume, maybe you wrote that bullet point 3 years ago, you don't remember what it is, you can go back and look at it. And most importantly, if you need some inspiration for questions to ask that recruiter as you get towards the end of the phone call, you'll have the company's website there to pull some inspiration from. Now, why is it important to have the recruiter's LinkedIn profile open? There's 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm assuming they have a profile photo, and if you're looking at their profile photo, it's easier to talk and have a conversation when you have some kind of visual aid to focus on. That's number 1. And number 2, my name is Darren. I can't tell you how many candidates have called me Dan, Don, Daryl, even Gary. I don't know where you get Gary from Darren, but I've been called any number of D names and other names out there. Calling the recruiter by their wrong name is probably not going to endear you to them, and it's going to leave them with the impression that you don't value this experience, that you can't be bothered, you can't even be bothered to get my name correct. You wouldn't like it if I called you the wrong name. I don't like it when you call me the wrong name. So have my LinkedIn profile open and it won't happen to you. Whether you love them or hate them, phone interviews are the gateway to the next step in the job interview process, which is typically a face-to-face interview. Could be another phone call, could be a video, but typically it's going to be a face-to-face. That's the goal. Get past the phone interview, get to the face-to-face. The bar on phone interviews is not nearly as high as it is on face-to-face interviews, so do enough to get past it. Show up energized and enthusiastic, have your notes available and accessible to you, prepare good answers in advance, and ask good questions, which you've prepared in advance, and you'll be good to go. Hey, just want to call your attention to this. Links down below in the description. I will see you next time. Good luck with the rest of your job searching day. Check out the video that's right down here. That's the one that YouTube thinks you're going to like the best. What are you still doing here? Go start preparing for your phone interview. Go. And stay classy, YouTube.